Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. Before we hit the review itself, let's talk about the history behind the movie itself. The movie is based on a book, a German novella to be precise, also titled You Should Have Left, written by Daniel Kellman, hope I pronounced that right, back in 2017. The story follows a screenwriter on a vacation with his wife and daughter, trying to write a sequel script to a previous movie he wrote. And then trippy psychological stuff happens involving dreams he can't distinguish from reality, opening doors to rooms that he thinks will lead to a specific room but ends up in another, and many more things. The book was well received, and considering the subject matter, Blumhouse Productions couldn't resist the opportunity to snatch up the rights to make an adaptation. Needless to say, I have not read the book. I do not read books, because I am a Neanderthal who lives in a cave. And this dancing mini sun is blowing my mind, man! So prior to seeing it, I had no expectations. Hell, this barely made a peep when it came out on VOD. And also, Kevin Bacon has a tendency to pick really lame horror films. So I wasn't expecting anything good. Was I right? This is my honest opinion of You Should Have Left. Theo, played by Kevin Bacon, is a troubled man trying to come to terms with his dark past. Hoping to spend some quality time with his younger wife, Susanna, played by Amanda Seyfried, and their young daughter Ella, played by Avery Essex, they book a little vacation at a house in a small town. However, the longer they stay, Theo notices how off things are. His dreams are getting more and more real, people start giving him funny looks for staying at the house, all the while being stalked by a shadowy presence. Called it. Yep, it's not very good. Well, I've certainly seen worse, and I've seen worse movies that threw even less effort into it, but this is definitely not top tier thrills and chills. More than anything, the movie is a bore fest. It uses so many tropes that only the worst of horror flicks use. Supernatural dreams before going to the place where supernatural shit happens? Check. Stalked by a malevolent force that does nothing until the final act? Check. Cue spooky doors that open and lamps that turn on by themselves? Double check. Bring forth a curmudgeon old man who hints at spooky stuff in the house? Actually, they surprisingly subvert that. Yeah, fucking right, of course they have that shit in there too. Fucking check. Even when the spooky stuff starts happening, like the photo that mysteriously shows up, verifying later that it wasn't a dream, and the main characters aren't the least bit freaking out about it, I mean, come on, man. Act like this isn't normal shit. And I don't like Susanna. Initially, she's just the generic cookie-cutter nice wife. So far, nothing to complain about other than Seyfried deserves better. But then she tells their daughter the details of her father's past simply because she asked, trying very poorly to deflect the conversation or explain that it's his story to tell. She just seems incredibly inconsiderate, which soured her entire character. To make matters worse, let's just say that there's a weird subplot that appears out of nowhere and seems to be only there to add unnecessary drama. The timing of it, just when the characters were acting smart, it's all very contrived and annoying. Now I am going to hit spoilers in a little bit, but before I do, I am going to admit I do have a few positives. It's not a complete garbage fire, at least in my eyes. For one thing, Kevin Bacon. I mean, come on, it's Kevin Bacon. He's just too likable a guy to be boring. Shut up, no one's talking to you. Dumbass movie. Anyway, he's a constant positive. A waste of his charm, but it's still better than nothing. Speaking of charm, I'm usually not about having cute kid characters just be in a movie for the sole purpose of being cute, but somehow, young Avery Essex was really adorable. I don't know if it was the writing or the direction, but somehow, her sad puppy eyes are on par with Natalie Portman's crying face. She's just too legit to not like. Ella's not even that fleshed out of a character, just a run-of-the-mill little kid. Yet, I enjoyed seeing her interact with the adults. The mysterious time lapses in the beginning, and the final act when we learn that the house is all freaky. Having a scene show that the inside of a room is somehow longer than the outside, or when Theo starts running through the house, winding up in different rooms, it gets pretty trippy. In a better movie that leaned more heavily into campy territory, or psychology for that matter, this could have been a ton of fun. And for what it was, as brief as it kinda was. Fun. But now, it's time to talk about the twists and spoilers. I generally don't like talking about these things, but I can't avoid it for this one. If this were a better movie, I'd avoid it, but not now. Just jump to this time code if you don't want anything spoiled. So that shadowy figure, it's Theo. It's Theo. It does a horrible job of hiding his face, which is so obviously bacon and makeup. And his voice, yeah, I've seen the Logitech Google TV commercial movie.
Yeah, my wife says if I watch any more Kevin Bacon, I might actually turn into Kevin Bacon.
It's the same voice. And the fact that this reveal is made out to be such a big deal, I'd have laughed if I didn't call it from the very first scene. For fuck's sake. Also, the more I think about it, I absolutely hate red herrings. Like, just as a storytelling device in general, I just don't like them. Throughout the movie, the original owner of the house, a man called Stettler, is given such weight. The locals are cryptic about him, people give Theo this look like he's so fucked, making you think that he's the big bad haunting this family, for reasons. But no, the shadowy figure this whole time was Theo's subconscious. So why build up Stettler? It's like the writers knew that this twist was lame, so they threw in basically a lie to hopefully throw off the audience, but nope, sorry guys, this was obvious from scene 1. And when we learned that Theo actually did kill his wife before Susanna, well, let her die. The resolution is that he decides to simply stay in the house. Yeah, like he's somehow discovered that this house is some kind of prison. I know there's some half-assed explanation that the house was built on a satanic building or whatever that old fart said, but what, not even an attempt to leave with his family and face the music when they get back home? I just feel like this was a rushed ending to keep him in a house that's a metaphor for a prison. No, don't waste your time watching this. Obviously, I don't hate it. Bacon and Essex are actually pretty good. And the house itself is a pretty neat idea. But the overall execution is just kind of boring, standard, and not nearly as interesting as it really should have been. My honest rating for You Should Have Left, a week 3 out of 5. Boy, that was a bit of a red flag of a title, wasn't it? Anyway, thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy out there. Hope to see you soon.
Am I obsessed with Kevin Bacon? I don't know. Obsessed is a strong word. I think I'm a devoted fan. And you know, the Logitech review is just perfect for me because I just type in Kevin Bacon and it uses Google TV, finds all kinds of movies and shows and YouTube videos. So let's just say I happen to be in the mood for, I don't know, a movie about a rebellious teen who's living in a town where dancing is illegal.
Please don't set off the alarm. I didn't think about that. I am literally right under my fire alarm as I lit this thing. Okay. Okay, I think I'm in a good place.